All right, so we're recording now. So just so everybody knows, I don't know if you have seen, somebody's screen sharing. There we go. So Angie is doing a new training group. I think it's called like Boss Up or something. It's a 4-week training. There's some of the top coaches in there. Meg Wazinski, she's been top 10. Angie, Laura, who did the team call last week, Scotty Hobbs, a bunch of really awesome coaches. They're doing a 4-week training. So if you guys aren't a part of it, it starts tomorrow. And I know that there's a link to get signed up for that in the Team Upper group that I tagged you all in. So I just wanted to get that out there to start because it's going to be a super, super awesome group. So we are interviewing with Brooke tonight. She is a fairly new coach. She hasn't even been coaching for a whole 3 months, and she is like just killing it with growing her team. She's really growing. She grows people weekly. They not only like come join her team, but they start sharing their stories and they get out there and put themselves out there, and that's not easy to do. So I just want to know how she does it and how we can kind of learn from what she does. So I'm just going to ask her some questions. If you guys have a pen and paper, you're probably going to want to take notes. It will be recorded though, so if you miss anything, don't worry. So Brooke, how long have you been coaching now? And before you got started coaching, would you say you were fairly comfortable on social media or really had like a following?
Well, I first started coaching the 3rd week in June. And before I got started coaching, I had like 200 friends on Facebook. It was very small. I kind of kept everything really private because I have 2 little kids and I didn't want everybody to know all my personal business. So I think I had like 90 friends on Instagram. It was something that was really sad. But, since once you become a coach, you kind of just start sharing your story a ton and telling everybody what's going on with you. You want to be sharing your stuff. So it's kind of how I started expanding my network and going back in and just following Angie's steps of adding people on Instagram and Facebook. I'm like, we haven't talked in 10 years, but how's it going? So,
yeah, I know that's a big worry for people when they're getting started or like thinking about signing up. They're like, well, I don't have a following on Instagram. Like when I started coaching, I had 0 people on Instagram, literally. And so I think that is a super lame excuse for people because you can totally grow it and work with your 200 people that you have, however many people. And so you don't have to have a huge following from day one. So I think it's really awesome that you didn't have a huge Instagram or Facebook following beforehand. And so when you first started coaching, where did you start trying to reach out to people the most? I think we all kind of gravitate towards like our preferred platform. Like I love Instagram. So what kind of did you start with the most?
Well, I didn't really know how to even use Instagram until a few weeks ago, actually. So that was not the venue for me. I actually started on Facebook, like using other 21-day fix boards of people who were like myself. Because when I first started this, I was literally just trying to figure it out, where I started coaching when I was still in the product or in my program. So I hadn't even finished my first whole program yet. So I was talking to other girls who were still using it. What was their success like? And then it just started happening where they had a coach, they didn't know that coach, they'd never talked with anyone, or they were just starting to look into the program. So that's how I first started getting my first challengers, was actually in other 21-day fix boards for support. And then I started personal messaging a few people that I knew had been interested in workout programs. And so that's how I got my 5 first challengers, was just personal messaging and other boards. Like I tried the stay-at-home mom groups and that was not working. Like everybody wants I want a deposit of money today. I'm like, well, you're not going to get a deposit of money today. Like, I get something next week, but everybody wanted to try the It Works wrap stuff. I'm like, no, you're not going to wrap yourself and lose 5 pounds. Like, that's just not what this is. So, yeah. So I kind of got away from the stay-at-home mom groups because I'm like, this is just not really working. You're going to actually have to work into it.
I like how you said that you weren't even finished with your program yet, because I know a lot of people, they're like, I don't have a before and after. I just started like P90X3. They'll be like halfway through it. And I'm like, that's totally fine. Like people want to join you during the process. Not everybody has like a solid, like I've already hit my goals. I'm done. I've lost my weight and now follow me. So
I think it's better that when you're like in it still, because then you're very relatable to people, because you know the struggle of, wow, I have this party coming up this weekend and I really want to eat that piece of cake. And yeah, I'm completely on this 21-day fix, but I fell off the wagon and I had 2 pieces of cake. Like that was me. Like I had the 2 pieces and I'm like, I'll take a piece home. So yeah, I completely understand the struggle of, I am on this program, I really want to do well, but I have hiccups every now and then.
I love that. I do. I had a solid before and after, and I think like it helped with my personal friends, but a lot of people I didn't know, like either thought my before and afters were fake or like thought they actually took me like 3 years. And so I think like when people can actually kind of see you taking that journey, they really do kind of put themselves in your shoes and see that they can do that as well. So I think that's pretty awesome. So you started on Facebook, you started on the message boards, like the groups, kind of like 21-day fix groups, right? So did you ever kind of, as you kind of got into your own groove, like switch up your tactics? I know you said you started attacking Instagram a little bit.
Yeah, just actually like 2 weeks ago, I was talking with Jade and she mentioned how to message people on Instagram. I'm like, what? You can message people on Instagram? Get out. So just now I've kind of been trying that avenue a little bit more and seeing more success on that but that's really established like once you get a following, because my 50 people that I had when I first started, I didn't know those people. Those people were like donut lovers. Like I am not the people who are going to hop on and say, yeah, I want to get fit. Like, they weren't the ones to get fit. It was just like through hashtagging, and you find somebody who has a really cool page and you just mention, hey, I really love your page. You have awesome recipes. What are you doing? And some of these people who, they weren't ever really thinking about coaching. They were just posting the recipes because they liked clean eating. So then you mention, this is what I do. And they kind of fall into that of wanting to know more information.
I love though that you lead with like liking their actual content, not like, hey, do you want to be a coach? Because I like your page. Like, I like your recipes.
Yeah. And that was my mistake really in the beginning. It was, hey, this is what I'm doing. Would you want to try it? And people are like, no, I don't want to try it. Leave me alone. And I really think you have to find something that brings you a common ground where it's really not being salesy. It's, hey, I saw you're doing this. This is really awesome. What goals do you have? And really engaging them in that conversation. Because if it seems salesy, most people don't even respond back.
Yeah, that's true. And if there's somebody who like if you kind of talk to them about their goals and you kind of realize like this wouldn't be a good option for them, it's kind of better not to waste your energy in those conversations. Like you can get to know them as a person, but trying to give them like the coach pitch. Like if there's somebody who's not going to hear it anyway, kind of figuring that out before you pitch it to them so that they still maybe follow you. Maybe they one day down the line want to join your challenge group, but they aren't immediately turned off from like you attacking them.
Right.
I like that. So when you're looking for people to join your team, do you have like certain traits or like what are you looking for in a dream team like prospect?
Well, I'm a mom and I try to find other people who are like myself. Like usually they're moms, usually they're pretty established into their career. They're either liking it, but either bored or wanting to switch it up a little bit. They're people who are wanting to get fit. I have like 2 guys on my team and one of those is my boyfriend. Like it's not even something like I don't market to guys because I don't know all the issues that guys are trying to do. Don't deal with it. I just don't know. So I'm not going to hit up like the guys in the market like, oh, you want to be fit? Like, no, not for me. Somebody else could do really awesome with that. But I just try to find people who are like myself. Like if you have a child who's in gymnastics or if you are a soccer mom, scrapbooking or, religious views, something like that where you can have some sort of common ground to, I think, establish the first direct line of conversation really helps. It's not just you're going in and spamming a board that you got added to because I'm military moms in Montreal. I'm not a military mom. I don't live in Montreal. It's not the board for me. So I just, at first when I first started, I wanted to go into every single board. Yeah. And now I'm like, I can't go into that board. What am I even going to talk to those women about? So they're all talking about their weekend and what's coming up. And I'm like, yeah, I'm 10 hours from you guys. Like, yeah, not even relating to anything that they have to say.
Yeah, you definitely have to find your target audience. And sometimes your target audience might need a tweaking. Like for me personally, I'm younger. So when I started coaching, I was like freshly 22 years old. Like I had just turned 22. And so I attracted a lot of like 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds, like younger girls who was like, they fill up my challenge groups like crazy. But a lot of times 20-year-olds aren't looking to either become a coach. They maybe want the discount, but they're not like looking to like work business. They're looking to like go out on the weekends and like not the target audience I wanted. So I kind of had to start kind of trying to attract a little bit of an older audience, like mid to 20s, mid to upper 20s. Like that's way better of a sweet spot for me than 21-year-olds. Jade's like my golden child. I don't think she's on our call because she's working right now, but she's younger just like I am. And like, you know, I think 1 out of 20 might have that work ethic and like it clicks for them, but a lot of them you'll realize like they just burn out and they leave. So you kind of have to figure out like who's going to work, who's going to be worth the effort, and then kind of start catering to that while being you, but kind of trying to attract those people a little bit more. So I think like posting recipes has really helped me with a little bit of an older crowd because like 20-year-olds don't always like cook all the time. So I might get like younger moms or people just getting like engaged and married and getting out of college. And that's kind of who I'm looking for. So you definitely have to figure out who works for you.
Well, I think that helps too when you know, like at first I was trying to find challengers. I don't really pull in a lot of challengers. Like my age group, we're not really we want to get fit now, but we want to do something more than just get fit. Usually we're like my friends, a lot of them stay at home. So if you can stay at home, why would you not try to build your business while you're getting fit? So once I kind of really figured out I'm catering to a different group rather than the challengers, because I was comparing myself to like other people, like you get tons of challengers into your group all the time. I'm like, I have two people who are interested. And so then I'm trying to do multiple challenge groups per month. Challenge groups, just not my thing. Like I just wasn't getting responses. Like I didn't have 30 or 40 people wanting to do my group all the time. I was good with 5. I'm like, all right, I got 5. Like, awesome. And so then I kind of really switched it out and I'm getting much better response.
Yeah, people definitely, they have a stronger pull either to coaches or challengers. And like, it just happens. I don't know anybody who's amazing at both for some reason. I can get challengers easy, like lining up for my challenge group, but you kind of have to figure out how to work the other end of it. Like I want to add coaches, obviously. I love building people on my team and helping people with this opportunity. So kind of figuring out like how to become more of a coach recruiter. It takes time and it takes honing in those skills and reading. Maybe I've read so many leadership books, you guys, and books like trying to help me just learn how to be more confident in my conversations with people. And I think that's definitely helped in building my team. So if you have weaknesses, if you find yourself being weak in one of these areas, you can always get stronger at them. So find a good book. There's books about everything, like literally everything. If you're looking to improve your conversation skills, improve your social media, there's an Instagram book. That's the first one I read. I think it's like Instagram Power. Amazing. You can learn about Pinterest. Pinterest is huge. So kind of if you have a weakness, figure out how to strengthen it as best as you can. And that'll really help. So do you use any scripting with your prospects? Like do you kind of go from a copy and paste-ish script, or how do you, because you really do add a lot of coaches and I feel like you must close the deal like pretty effectively.
You know, I'll tell you, when I first started out, I literally printed out Angie's conversation steps and almost to the T and to the letter wrote exactly what she had, because I've never invited anything to an online or anyone to an online group. So I figured Angie's been doing this for 2 years. I'm going to use her stuff. And I used it. I mean, literally to the letter, I copied it, would paste it, and maybe alter a few lines, but it worked in the beginning. Then as you go on, you kind of figure out your style of doing it. So her style kind of evolved into my style. So now you see the 5 steps of conversation happening without you needing to be literally flipping through the pages.
Yeah.
You see what questions to ask and the follow-up questions that they're going to ask. You know how the conversation is going to go because you know what questions you're asking that person to give you the answer to lead you to the next question. So I don't use it anymore. Like I literally still have it like right next to my binder that I'm constantly writing in all the time. And there may be something that I might go back and flip through, but the more you're talking with people, the more conversations that you engage in, the better at this you're going to be. And it's so awkward at the very beginning because you're talking to people who you don't know, and you're asking them very personal insights into their life, which it's strange. You know, you're asking somebody to divulge all this personal information to you, to a stranger who they don't know. But you look at it where it's almost easier because they don't know you. And so you're talking to someone who they know is supportive, but who's not judging them. So I really think that's it. You know, you just go from trying to figure it out to evolving your own style. And my style might be different than someone else's. So it's just, I really think it's really focused on the client that you're talking to. So there isn't really a right way. Like, I talked to a lady today for 45 minutes and got completely sidetracked about something that had nothing to do with Beachbody. And which, that's fine. You just bring it back in. So I can't say there's really the right way to talk to someone. It's just all depends on that person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some people, I mean, like literally I've signed up for 20 minutes. And then some people it's been like 7 hours or 3 weeks. I'm like, okay. You know, some people are just like, oh yeah, I'll do it. What? Do you even want to know the rest about it? Let me send you the email. Let me give you some. No. They're like, I'll sign up. I'm ready. Here's my credit card. No, wait. Don't give me your credit card. Like, so, I mean, it all just depends on the person.
It's true. Some people are like, yep, sign me up after one email. And then some people, I've had people who want to talk to me for like literally months, which is fine because they can end up being your strongest person on your team, or you can end up making a huge difference in their life. Even if they're just a challenger, like I love helping people get in shape. That's why I started coaching. And sometimes I talk to girls for literally months before they decide to take the plunge and join my challenge group. They'll be like, well, it's expensive. So they'll go get a gym membership where they're paying $40 a month anyway. They don't get results. They don't know what they're doing in the gym. They don't have a nutrition guide. They don't have accountability. They come back and they want to keep talking to you. So never leave the conversation like totally closed off. Like if they're not interested, like kind of let them know, like feel free to contact me in the future. If you'd like, I can let you know about my future groups or my future coach groups, like whatever it may be. But yeah, scripting, it definitely helps in the beginning. Especially while you don't know exactly the steps of the conversation, but it should be extremely personalized. So if somebody is giving you information and they're giving you an insight into their life, you need to acknowledge the things that they say and adjust it to them. Sometimes, like, do you guys ever get those stupid comments on Instagram that are like, nice pic, and it's a video, and you're like, this isn't a picture, this is a video. Like they do like copy and paste things, like amazing. I delete them and I block them and I report them to Instagram as spam people because they're paying to spam your accounts and just to comment on everybody's things to get likes. That's kind of how, if you too strongly script yourself, you sound like a robot. Like if you're ignoring somebody's concerns or their questions, and they will not be happy with you. So definitely personalize the scripts, but do have a little bit of a structure. If you guys need a script, I have scripting for challengers and coaches. And if they're not in our team group, I'm pretty sure they are. I will make sure they get added in there tonight. If they are not, I will look at that after this call because they're definitely super helpful. So would you say that when you started growing your team, I know you weren't having as much success with challengers, like did that help with your Beachbody income increasing? Could you kind of see a direct correlation?
You know, it's funny, like my strongest challenger actually was one of my very first coaches, and he purchased a ton of stuff every single month. So then he signed up to be a discount coach. I'm like, no, don't be a discount coach, because I'm like, you took out all my retail sale. So, you know, but then I'm like, okay, you have to look at the big picture. Like, yeah, your retail commission goes down, but you're building your team up. So it was really a thing. Do I want to add to my paycheck right now, or do I want to advance my business? So I'm like, okay, like that's fine. You can be my first discount coach. That's cool. But once you really start adding coaches in, you're going to get that fast start bonus. Mm-hmm. And then you get the fast start bonus plus. And that's like after the 5 coaches, you get your additional $100 after on top of your commissions that Beachbody pays you. So that was really awesome. I'm like, oh, an extra $100.
It's like free money.
Yeah, it is. It's free money. And then that week though, my retail volume was a 0. Like no one bought anything. I'm like, huh. Yeah. That's
well, and your team cycle bonus, as you advance to Emerald, and once you hit Diamond, it gets bigger per cycle. Mm-hmm. And so that's where it really starts to kick in, you guys. That's where like you start making like way more money.
Which is kind of crazy because now once you build your team, you don't have to struggle so much to get new challengers in because you're building it with your coaches who are incentivized to sell on their own and who want to build their own business. So you're not scrambling for challengers every month, or God forbid you have a return of something and it's like, what am I going to do? And I've had somebody who accidentally ordered 2 Shakeologies per month and she sent one back. I'm like, just keep it, just please keep it. But I'm like, this is just not fun to have any type of return. And now you don't notice it. I mean, you get your little retail sell and little retail volume, which that's nice to see. But if you don't have it, you don't notice that much. It's not like you're coming away with a 0 paycheck and you're super bummed for a week. Because I had weeks like that where I'm like, I earned $7. I suck. And I'm like, somebody ordered a cookbook, like that's just what it was for the week. I'm like, darn, does anybody else need a cookbook? But no, you can't push people into buying things that they don't need at that time.
Yeah.
So I wasn't scrambling to do 2 challenge groups per month, where I had been doing that. Like my first 2 months, I was trying to do 2 challenge groups a month.
And that'll drive you crazy.
Yes, because I'm like, I'm constantly trying to get new challenge groups in, and then you're having 2 separate boards. I'm like, I can't do this. No. I can't have 2 separate boards because then I would mix up what I was posting. And I'm like, they're going to think I'm a floozy, that I don't know what's going on. And so I've scrapped all of that. You cannot do 2 challenge groups because it's really a lot of work. It's really better just to devote yourself into the 5 people that you have than try to get 10 people in 2 different groups. Then you really can't commit to anyone.
Do you have like a goal of how many people you invite? Like, do you have a goal per day or like per week?
I always do. Well, I'll tell you, I have a non-negotiable goal and then a push goal. So my non-negotiable goal is 100 per week, 100 people. Not that I'm just sending a blanket invite to, but I'm actually talking to 100 people where I have more than a conversation of, hey, I have this. Let me know if you're interested. That doesn't even count in my 100 people. I tried that and I was like, I'm getting 100 people, but only 10 people are responding back. No, just didn't work. Because I'm like, I'm still not getting people. Like, what in the world is going on? And I've kind of realized that people's way of saying no now is just not to respond to you at all and just act like they didn't receive the message, even though you can see, seen, and read. Like, you read this 2 days ago. But, so I don't even count them. But I tried to talk to 100 people. And then my push goal is 150. So like today, my boyfriend's been watching football all day. I've been spending a lot more time today talking to people because he's been MIA watching TV. So
I would say that right there is the secret sauce. How many people she's talking to. And I can tell you right now, I do not talk to that many people a week. I need to like major up my numbers. But here's the thing, like you're the boss of your business. So if you only want to talk to 20 people a week or 5 people a week, like that's fine. That's your call. But this is why Brooke's growing so quickly. And I didn't grow as quickly as Brooke did. But she's really growing quickly because she's just going out there and talking to people and starting these conversations. She sets the bar high for herself. And I mean, it pays off. So if you really want to see your business grow quickly, you do have to put in the work. But I promise you'll see the benefit and it'll be amazing, obviously.
Yeah, it's, when I first started, my goal was like 20 people a week. And then I'd get my 20 people. I'm like, well, I've not had 1 sign up. And so I'm like, well, maybe I need to up it to 30. And you just realize you get into a routine. And like I said, the more you do it, the easier it becomes to engage in that conversation with someone. And you just do it. Like you see a post and you're like, wow, that's a really awesome post. I'm going to message her about that post. And I've had some people where I'm like, this is totally random, but I just saw your post and have you ever thought about doing this? And, just going into something where sometimes you see a post on someone and you're like, that person would be a super awesome coach. And I'm going to sound like a loony just reaching out to her and saying, this is what I do, but really this is what I do. And I think you'd be awesome. And this is the reason why. So, I mean, I've had 2 coaches enroll just because of that, where I'm like, I need to talk to that person. And I'm going to sound crazy, but
yeah,
you get the added benefit of they don't know you. So sometimes they're a little bit more engaging when they don't know you.
Yeah. I used to kind of be worried I would kind of like annoy people just because I wasn't hugely active on social media. And so I kind of felt like it would be like annoying to like message somebody, but really like you're just kind of placing this opportunity in front of them to take or not. Like, it's not like you're going to be upset with them if they don't take it, but you might be changing this person's life completely. Like when Angie posted whatever post she did that I responded to, like she had no idea that I was like out there and this was going to change my life like completely. But when I saw the opportunity, like I jumped on it. Like you never know who you're going to put it in front of that needs it so bad. That's just going to be an amazing coach and totally willing to do it. So you say you talk to 100 people. Where do you, is this mostly on Facebook?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then are they like kind of your friends or people you find in groups, like mutual interest groups?
No, actually, I don't really have any like friends who are coaches other than like 2 girls I went to high school with, but literally haven't talked to them in 15 years. And so I really wouldn't say it's any close friends. It's people that I've known from 15 years ago who just saw a post on Facebook, who are on my friends list and who messaged me about it. The other people I've met all through boards and online. So,
That's cool.
well, actually scratch that, because my hairdresser signed up last week, like on Friday. She randomly sent me a message saying, hey, I think I'm ready to get fit. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you are? Like, and she's my hairdresser. So I literally see her every single month. And she's like, wow, your hair is so conditioned. And I'm like, it's the Shakeology, Laura. And she's like, what the heck is Shakeology? I'm like, okay, let me tell you about it. And so I've spent 20 minutes explaining to her what it is. And I'm like, and look at my nails. Like, they're no longer peeling. So just randomly having that conversation with her of the condition of my hair. And then she's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, you're going to get fit too. Like, you could get fit. So she signed up because she wants to get fit. And then she said, well, maybe I'll sell a packard too. I'm like, you could sell a packard too. Because
especially seen so many people.
Yes, that's exactly what I told her. I'm like, you need to buy a Shakeology shirt and you should wear it one day. And people will ask you what this is. And she's like, I'm going to set up a little Shakeology booth. I'm like, see, I think I need to learn to cut hair just for that opportunity to do this. Cause I'm like, that's such an easy way to bring this up of, she has coffee pods and here, have a coffee. Here, would you like a Shakeology? I'm like, are you kidding?
Well, and like there's tiny, like you don't have to go out and spend a ton of money on wear and share products. Like they have like bottles like these, you guys. Like my Shakeology bottle, I take to work and I drink water out of it because I know exactly how big it is. Like I kind of measure out my water that way. I take my Beachbody Performance bottle to work when I'm drinking, like if I'm drinking a protein shake at work or something, the Recover protein shake. And I've had so many people like, what is that? What are you drinking? What? And I mean, it just kind of opens the door for a conversation. Like sometimes if I know I'm going to be going grocery shopping after my workout, like I'll take my shake. And it's just like, I'm not going out there like, hey, everybody, I'm drinking Shakeology. You want to know what it is? But like if somebody sees it, maybe they've drank it before or they've like heard about it and they just kind of want to hear more. So never kind of miss that opportunity to like talk about it. Like you obviously don't have to go out there and like tell it to everybody, but never be shy. Like if somebody asks you what you do, I know I had a big problem at first, like kind of being shy about what I did because I wasn't big on social media before. And I was like totally not the face of good health before I got like into P90X3. And I was working online, which is not widely accepted as a real job, if you will. And so I would kind of beat around the bush with what I did and say like, oh, I work with Beachbody. I'm a Beachbody coach, but that's kind of not really what I do. I don't think that describes what I do. If somebody were to ask me like what I do now, like I tell them like, well, I lost 40 pounds with P90X3. So I help people do the same by keeping them accountable and motivated in groups online. And then I help other people to do the same thing. That's basically all I tell people, like, because that is what I do. So you'll notice if you go in my Instagram bio, it does not say in big flashing letters like Beachbody Coach, because that's, I think, a little too salesy for my liking. Like, I think mine says like health and fitness specialist. Like, that's what I do. That's what you can get from me. Like, telling you that I'm a Beachbody coach only tells you that I can sell you a product, not like what I do and why it means so much to me. So I think like being open to talk about these things and not having that fear that you're going to annoy people or people are interested in what we do. Everybody wants to get fit. Everybody wants to feel good. And like look good. And so never feel like you're being annoying starting conversations. I think your goal of 100 is amazing.
You know, I'll tell you too, I don't even mention Beachbody when I first ask people about coaching because I say it's a health and fitness coach. And then they're like, oh, okay, you can send me more information. They'll send me their email. And then I'll say, have you ever heard about Beachbody? Have you ever heard of the products? It's never something I lead with because I think we've all seen the infomercials at 2 a.m. and you're like, oh yeah, that's cool, but I'm not fit. Like I can't do that because I don't have a six pack and I don't like, that was so me. I'm like, I'm not fat, but I'm not fit. So I would have never thought I could do it. And if you would have said, do you want to be a Beachbody coach? I would have said no, because I don't have a six pack. I can't dance. Like I'm not going to be able to do size with people because I'm not a very good dancer. Like my kids saw me and they're like, you are not good.
You got to stop that.
Yeah. And they're like, what are you doing?
I love it. So I think it definitely helps, like when you kind of present the opportunity to people instead of leading like, hey, do you want to be a Beachbody coach? Like how I said, how I kind of associate what I do, let them know that that's what they can do. Like, do you want to get fit and get super like in shape and healthy, but also kind of help people along by just keeping them accountable, like in Facebook groups. It's not like they're like training them, or you don't have to come up with anything crazy. You just need to keep people engaged and having fun with fitness. Like, do you want to do that? And I mean, so many people are interested. So do you kind of offer the discount coach opportunity to most people? Like if they wanted to get a program with you?
It depends, because it really depends on what their goal is. Like I know some people are very adamant and not wanting to do Shakeology.
Mm-hmm.
So I never force the Shakeology on them. I tell them like, it's really good for you. You know, if you would want to do the challenge pack, you should definitely sign up as the discount coach, the reasons why. But I always leave it open, because if you're not going to do the challenge pack, most likely they're not going to want to pay the extra $40 to do the coaching fee. So I don't ask them, because I'm like, if you're going to do the extra $40, just purchase the Shakeology.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, you can't push that out on anybody. But if anybody says, yeah, I want to do a challenge pack, I always ask, do you want to do the discount coach program? Because this is what you're going to be getting. It's more financially feasible for you to become a discount coach.
It's free to sign up.
That's the thing. Like that's what usually will like push people into it. Oh, I don't have to do anything and I'm still saving $15. Yep, you're still saving $15 just for continuing on the program like you would if you weren't a coach.
And should they ever decide that they don't want to be a coach anymore, like if somebody's not working the business, they may not want to have a coach account for the rest of their lives. They can cancel that for free at any time. So definitely leading with that. People don't realize when you are giving them the discount coach opportunity, like Brooke said, like you only get commission off of that first challenge pack from them, but not the next month, like if they got another order of Shakeology. So really, like you're getting them a discount. You're making a little bit less off of them. You're building your team. So they don't know that. You're benefiting in that way. But like you're genuinely helping them. So never feel like that's salesy. Like let them know like it's totally free. Even with the next month, like coach monthly fee, you're still going to save about $20. And if you ever want to turn it off, you can turn it off. I'll gladly help you do it. It takes like 5 minutes. So kind of easing people's worries like that. So I know we've got about 5 minutes. So I guess if you have number one biggest tip for recruiting coaches and building your team, what would it be?
It's really knowing your goal. Like, what are you trying to build from your Beachbody business? Is it just to have some extra money? Is it to establish a business so you don't have to go back to your job? Are you trying to find a different career? What is it? Because your approach is going to be so much different. Where if you're just really trying to build your income, I wouldn't say don't build a team, because you're giving all your commission away. So it's not the thing. If you're here really just to earn extra money, I wouldn't say give the same advice to what I'd have for someone who's trying to use this opportunity as a career advancement. It's just because your goals are different.
It is. It's different goals. So short term, I mean, if you're a short term coach and you're trying to maybe cover your Shakeology sales, like you don't want to have to pay for your monthly Shakeology. You just want to make enough to cover that or cover your new program that you want. Maybe just sign up challengers. If you want to be able to quit your job one day or have enough income to stay home, like that's when you should be building a team, because that's when you're going to be making sustainable money to actually stay home. I love that tip. That was awesome. Well, I loved all of your tips, Brooke. That was super awesome. We do have like 4 minutes. If anybody wants to unmute themselves, if you do have any questions to ask Brooke, now would be a really awesome time. Does anybody have any questions? I know she did really awesome. She covered a whole of it.
I know. I was like, I need to itemize my list of things to say because we're in a time crunch. And there's so much to say. I know when you first start, it's so overwhelming because you're literally looking at everything and it's like, this is a lot of stuff. And like, I still literally have this booklet right here that I write in every single day and go back and flip through and have page bookmarks. And I mean, there's a massive amount of information in this booklet where, God forbid, something would ever happen to this booklet. I'm like, oh my gosh. But I love it. And I mean, I still do all kinds of personal development. We drove down to Florida a couple weeks ago, and every time it was my turn to drive, I listened to a coach call or personal development from a top coach. And even my boyfriend was like, what? More Anita Myron? And I'm like, you will love her, and take down this note for me. So I mean, we got out and we were like, yeah, we're ready to sell some stuff. Like, give us our computers. But I really think that finding a top coach who you can identify with is really, really important. Like, there's a lot of really good people out there. And I found like 3 who I'm like, they're little bits and pieces of myself. So I kind of work all 3 of them into how I approach everything. And it's really changed just in the last month of how many people I'm getting. And because too, like, I was a huge comparer when I first started. Like, I was like comparing myself to Emily. I'm like, she has like 50 Success Club points and I have 2. And like, this sucks. I'm never going to be an Emily. And then I'm like, Emily's been doing this for a year and I've been doing this for a week. Like, cut it out. Compare yourself to someone who's really, really awesome and has been doing this for so long. You just can't, because everybody goes at their own pace. And 2, you never know what stuff they're doing. So I just went through and found a ton of stuff that worked for other people and kind of incorporated it to work for me. And I think you guys are going to do that too. Like, you're going to find people who are like, yeah, that's exactly how I think. And that's my background or my experience. And you're going to relate to them. And it's just going to click one day.
I love it. All right, we are to our last minute, you guys. So I am going to end the call now, stop the recording. Everybody get in that training group with Angie. The link's in there. I tagged most of you leaders, tag your teams. If you haven't already, get in there. We start tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. But thank you all for logging onto the call. Thank you, Brooke. This is awesome.
Bye, guys.
Bye, ladies. Bye.